What's up, guys? Welcome, you crazy daily theologians. I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to draw attention to the one and only Tim Challies. He's well known in some circles, but maybe you don't know of him. Maybe you've been under a rock, perhaps. Well, he's got this thing that I've seen recently called his a la carte articles. And I thought, well, this would be fun to do with you guys, where I go through and just randomly pick one, and we explore this idea together. So as we go through these, the one that stood out to me, I was thinking Satan's agenda for the Christian. Yeah, that looks good. But boy, is there anything more relevant than this one right here, the false philosophy of cancel culture. Let's see what this says. I have no idea what this article will say. Okay, so here we are. Stand to reason, queer thinking, Christianity. I've heard of this before. Not exactly sure whose ministry this is. So it says it used to be when people differed on important issues, they engaged the ideas with facts and reasons. Yeah, those days are gone. Those days are over. Okay, end of article. It's over because it's an emotional, angry, self-righteous religion, and there's no logic in sin. Sin is always illogical. So that's point number one. Thank you, Wayne Grudem. Also, if you don't know Wayne Grudem, he's like the kindest, most grandfatherly systematic theologian in the world, and his systematic theology is the most popular, one of the most popular of all time. Get it? It's blue, and you could use it as a stepladder, but you could also read from it and greatly grow in understanding of theology and doctrine. Power is the critical concept. Cancel culture is based on the assumption that power, not truth, is the only way to drive cultural change. Okay, so power. So that's coercion versus right and wrong versus reality. So power over reality. Yeah, I would say that seems to be consistent with the cancel culture narrative. The cancel culture philosophy is built on the idea that power shapes all social relationships. It's also built on the idea that everyone is evil except you, even though you're hurling a brick through their business window and lighting their house on fire. And I'm not condoning that. That's just the pattern or business that we've seen. Negotiated solution. In other words, I can bully you into submission. That sounds fair and reasonable, like loving your neighbor as yourself, right? This approach also assaults individual identity. Yep. So the only identity that is right is their prescribed identity. You can't describe someone or have someone that is actually different than you. You must be them. And you must submit to them, by the way, because they're not letting you voice your opinion. Cancel culture is the logical outcome of this philosophy because you don't engage with your opponents. There's no you. There's only a group of what others call the blob or the mob mentality. Instead of optimism, there's cynicism, narcissism, selflessness. Power is the fundamental motivation behind cancel culture. Cancel culture was birthed out of this philosophy. It gives malevolent Machiavellians. In case you guys don't know what those words mean, malevolent is like bad intentions. Let's see if there's a dictionary here. Bad intentions, it's not going to let me. And then Machiavellians, the opportunity to bully in a manner that destroys reputations. This is a logical consequence of a society that claims power is the fundamental force of social change. It's not a mistake. This is merely a critique of contemporary philosophy. We're in the battle of the fundamental reality of what it means to be human. Exactly. Hence, abortion being the murder of children. Cancel culture defines and judges you by the group you belong to, not your actual character, content, beliefs. There's only one race, the human race. It homogenizes this into a blob of you are evil unless you are with us. And in reality, the one that can say that is Jesus. You are evil unless you're with Jesus. Otherwise, you're opposed to God and following Satan. That is true. And it doesn't mean we hate you, though. That's just Christianity. We love our enemies. Whereas in the blob mentality of Satan, we hate everyone, including you, and you're part of the blob, and you're actually hated by Satan. You just don't realize you're a pawn in his scheme. More power isn't the solution. The struggle isn't power. The struggle is with sin. Oh, look at this. He's got a Bible verse here. 2 Corinthians 12:10. Therefore, I am well content with weakness, insults, and persecution, difficulties. For Christ's sake, when I'm weak, I'm strong. Yeah, very good. Very good. The man from Nazareth put an axe to the philosophical roots of cancel culture. Jesus welcomes cancel people as disciples. That's true. And Jesus transforms the shame-ridden identity of cancel culture's victims into honor-laden individuals. Yeah, it's not many noble, not many wise. God has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. and the gospel is the power of God. So ultimately, the issue is the gospel, your identity being in the God-man Jesus Christ, because you're made in the imago Dei, which is fancy Latin talk for you're made in the image of God. You have attributes from God, but mainly your dignity from God, being made in the image of God, as the R.C. Sproul rightly says, is that you were made for a relationship with Him. God is relational. He's a Trinity, triune, 3 in 1, always has been, and out of that He made humanity out of His love, and He wants a relationship with His children that He has redeemed and saved, and is bringing back into His kingdom for sure. Can't lose it. Didn't do anything to earn it. But that is what it means to be made in the image of God. You're made for relationship primarily, and that is credit of the one and only R.C. Sproul. Thanks for watching. Repent and believe the gospel. Remember to hammer that like button like the 95 Theses, and check out Tim Challies, and I'll put a link in the video here. Thank you, and God bless.